When I enter the infirmary, as cautious and quiet as a rabbit avoiding a trap, the first thing that hits me is the smell. It smells clean, but not in that sterile medical way. More like dewy grass and fresh rain, like the open air and sky. It reminds me of a cool spring morning, though I can't recall having ever experienced one. It's almost homely.
Oh, you're awake.
The voice that startles me is surprisingly soft, and my head tilts to follow the sound. She's Talari by the looks of her luminescent skin, her primal yellow eyes.
I'm Riona. It's good to finally see you up and about.
You've been looking after me? She smiles, and there's something so soft, so calming about it, that it soothes right down to my bones. I'm reluctant to let my guard down so easily, but her soothing presence hardly inspires fear.
Yes, I'm the medic here. And your name is?
Nico.
Pleasure to meet you, Nico. Please, take a seat. Let's have a look at you.
She gestures with long, thin fingers toward the medical chair that's positioned in the center of the room, and I follow her instruction, noting the plastic that crinkles beneath me as I sit.
So, how are you feeling?
Physically, I think I'm okay, but I hesitate, and she cocks her head to the side, watching me curiously and giving me time to get my thoughts in order. I haven't been able to remember much besides my name.
I see.
Riona grabs a long silver wand from the metal table and holds it in front of me.
May I?
I nod, and she lights the tip with a swish, shining the blue lights on the end into my eyes, one after the other.
I suspected you had a concussion when they brought you in here. You had hit your head rather hard. I cleaned it up and lasered the wound back together, but I'm afraid there's not a lot I can do for memory loss.
Her fingers are cool against my scalp when she inspects the old wound next, giving an approving hum at whatever she finds there.
Have you noticed any issues with your vision or coordination?
The silver wand is pressed gently inside my ear, before Riona pulls it back out and inspects the strange, illuminated symbols on the side. When I first got out of bed, I lost my balance. Since then, apart from the memory thing, I've been feeling fine. Riona holds the wand in front of my face vertically, and a blue light washes over me, blinking for a few seconds before it dissipates entirely. When I follow her gaze to the screen behind me, the images have changed, depicting a series of numbers and icons I can't understand.
Your scans are almost back to normal, aside from some bruising here and there, though that's to be expected.
She stands back and inspects me, her nose crinkled slightly in thought.
Physically, you're healing well. If you've already remembered your name, my best guess would be a mild case of retrograde amnesia.
Amnesia?
Yes, it's more common than you may think following a head injury. Though, I can't say that every patient heals in the same way.
But it will heal. I will remember, won't I? Riona gives a sad smile, and in that moment, I know she's just as unsure as I am.
Only time will tell. Perhaps if I asked you some questions, they might trigger a memory.
It's worth a shot.
Let's see. Where did you live?
A city. At least, I think so. The images are hazy, but when I really think about it, I get flashes of a golden sky, clouds stretching as far as I can see.
That's a good start. Do you see anything else?
I close my eyes, like I did earlier with June, and try to remember more. White, gold, and water. No, fountains. There were fountains everywhere.
That sounds like Goldus, all right. The planet gets its water source from tunnels deep below the Earth. The fountains make it accessible to everyone. Let's see if you remember anything else. Do you have any siblings?
Yes, I think I had many. I have this feeling I was always surrounded by brothers and sisters, but it never felt like a family. There was one, though. I gasp when a sharp pain shoots through my head, whatever memory I was grasping onto slipping through my fingers like sand. I can't remember anymore.
Don't push yourself too hard. We can try again later.
I nod and glance around the room, and once again I'm hit by that smell. I notice now that there's something else mixed into it. Something sweet, almost fruity. Can I ask what the smell is?
Oh, it's my mister.
Riona gestures to a small, cylinder-shaped object in the corner of the room.
I can program it to replicate scents. This one is on my home planet, Talaran.
She giggles unexpectedly, as if she didn't mean to say that.
I guess I'm a little homesick.
I've heard Talaran is beautiful. I mean, I'm not sure how I know, but I'm sure it is. Riona smiles fondly, and I get the impression she's envisioning her home in her mind.
You're right, it is. Crystal water, clear skies, green stretching as far as you can see. And dotted all over the planet are enormous spires, towers that disappear high into the clouds. Each spire can hold an entire city. Hospitals, schools, homes. People think Goldus is the shining star of the system, but Talaran is the real jewel. It's more beautiful than this hunk of junk anyway, but don't let the captain know I said that.
Why did you leave? She smiles sadly, and I can't help but to feel a little of the emotion myself, sinking into my skin like dew.
I wanted to help the people that no one else would.
I don't mean to pry, but something about her makes me want to know more, to unravel those carefully crafted layers she wears like armor. Was it worth it? Surely being able to see the system, to visit other planets, would be an amazing experience.
Yes, it was worth it. It wasn't always easy, but I've seen so many wonderful places. I've helped Catalfan refugees find homes, saved travelers stranded in asteroid belts, delivered medicine to the slums on Cursa. I've seen some of the most brutal places in Celiota, and most of the time those in need thanked us with nothing more than their gratitude. But it was enough. And of course, I met wonderful people. Some more special than others, even some I call family now.
Her expression softens at that, longing clear in her bright eyes.
I miss Talaran, but the Andromeda Six is my home now.
I can't help but let out the breath of a laugh, and in an instant her vivid eyes fix on me. I'm sorry. I like the way you talk about things. Things that are important to you. I don't miss the pink blush that spreads across her skin, the one I'm sure currently matches my own. The ship lurches violently, and Riona and I grab hold of the chair, fixtured securely to the floor, to keep ourselves from flying across the room. What was that?
Probably just a gas cloud. Our pilot is usually good at avoiding them, but sometimes the autopilot veers us too close. Well, we're all done here. Best if you go back to your room and get some rest. Your body hasn't fully recovered. Do you think you can find your way back on your own?
I'm sure I'll manage.
Okay then. I'll bring you some food and fresh clothes in a little while and check in on how you're doing.
I exit the infirmary, heading back in the direction June and I had come from. At least, I think it was this way. As I continue walking down the corridor, I realize all the doors look the same. Maybe I should have asked Riona to show me the way after all. The corridors are all metal walls and elaborate circuitry, fluorescent lights evenly spaced hanging from the ceiling, the occasional patch holding metal sheets together. I look around for some kind of sign, but find nothing, stopping only when I come to the next door. It's larger than the rest of them. It must lead somewhere important. After debating my choices for about a minute too long, I suddenly realize there's nothing to lose if I end up walking into the wrong room anyway. Yep! This certainly isn't where I'm meant to be. I should probably leave, though I can see the edges of a window behind a stack of crates against the wall, and it draws my curiosity. This must be the docks. The boarding area should be around here somewhere, which means the view from here must be breathtaking. Making my way past the crates, I'm now facing a large window, the vast, dark abyss of the universe laid bare in front of me. I count the stars as we pass, and I wonder if I'm truly from Goldus. Somewhere out there, the answers wait for me. I'm sure of it. Somewhere in the system lays the key to my true self. My only fear is whether it's a good idea to chase the ghosts of my past, or leave them buried where they are and start anew.
Well, look who's up and running!
I clutch at my chest as I jump at the voice, turning to find the source.
Relax, kid, I'm not gonna... Holy crap, is that what all the racket is down here?
He steps up to the door, peering through the small window with a look of mild irritation. When he steps back again, he swears under his breath.
Oh, this is not good. The captain's gonna flip his lid when he hears there's a hole in the cargo hold.
A hole in the... What? Is it safe for us to be here? He paces a few steps, looking at the door nervously before turning to me.
That door is airtight. I'm more worried about the Lotalis supply.
When I don't say anything, his lips pull into a tight line.
Small fruit? Only grows on Talaran?
I shrug my shoulders, and he lets out a defeated sigh.
Doc gets cranky without her special fruit, and you do not want to see her when she's cranky. Come on, let's head up to the bridge. We can chat on the way.
He turns briskly, and I debate running in the opposite direction and hiding in my room before I think better of it and I'm forced to jog to catch up with him. Even though his posture seems tense, the curve of his lips suggests otherwise.
I'm Bash, by the way. You got a name?
Nico.
Pleasure. So, Nico, how the hell did you end up in the middle of a coup on Goldus?
A coup? I don't remember.
You don't remember how you got there?
I don't remember anything. Well, except my name. June helped me with that.
Good old June, huh?
He thinks for a moment before speaking again.
Well, that's brilliant! Think about it. It's not every day you get to make up a brand new identity. You want to pick a new name? If you do it quick, I won't tell anyone you swapped it. Not that there's anything wrong with the one you got, but think of all the choices!
I stare at him, a little stunned, and after a moment or two, his face drops in realization.
Unless you're not happy about all this? Shoot. I'm sorry. Sometimes it takes my head a few seconds to catch up with my mouth, you know?
I smile at him. There's something addictive about his energy, the way he seems to be almost bouncing on air with each step. It's fine. To be honest, I don't know how to feel about it yet. It's an odd feeling, not knowing. I should be feeling something, right? But I don't know, it's confusing.
I get it. There's nothing like falling on your butt to make you feel like nothing in this world makes sense anymore. If it's any consolation, I've been there once or twice myself.
He smiles sadly, and I have a hard time imagining anything in the world bringing down the bundle of energy in front of me. My eyes drift to the way his tattoos flicker, glowing luminescent under the spaceship's lights, and then to the bionic arm at his side, a network of metal plates and connectors intrinsically woven together. On closer inspection, I notice the hastily patched repair jobs and oil-stained bandages holding parts of it together, and I can't help but keep a smile from tilting my lips. There's something about Bash that fascinates me, something rough and unruly, and I find myself wishing I could learn more about him.
Do the bionics make you nervous?
I snap my gaze to his face, embarrassed at being caught staring. He laughs, and I can't help but feel like he's laughing at me.
You've never seen bionics before? Your mouth is practically dragging on the floor.
No, I've seen them before, I don't know. Maybe I've never seen them up close.
Oh, that's it, is it? You're hoping for a closer look.
He waggles his eyebrows at me suggestively, and I blush fiercely.
You're adorable when you get all flustered, you know that?
What? That's not fair. Bash laughs and walks ahead a little more, saying quietly under his breath, but still loud enough for me to hear.
Utterly adorable.
I'm curious, do they give you any special abilities? Bash flexes his bionic arm in front of him, making a fist and relaxing it again. His face is strange all of a sudden, haunted by the ghost of memories past.
This is stronger than any old human arm. Faster, too. Crushes steel as easy as a tin can. But the real moneymaker is this.
He gestures to his left eye, giving me the opportunity to study it closer. It's obvious on first glance there's something different about it. The way it pulses a bright electric yellow makes his right eye, a dark forest green, seem almost dull in comparison.
Infrared sight, X-ray vision, advanced targeting.
I instinctively move to cover myself before he laughs heartily and I stop, dropping my arms to my side and feeling a little foolish.
Relax, kid. You'll know when it's activated. It glows red.
I laugh at myself, trying to recover from my awkward reaction. And the tattoos?
Purely ornamental. Though I like to think they add to my overall formidable appearance.
An ungraceful snort escapes me before I can stop it. I hesitate, deciding how to word the question that's poised on my lips without sounding like I'm digging for gory details. How did you end up with them? I mean, if you don't mind me asking. Bash grimaces, and I'm immediately aware of how intrusive I'm being. Sorry, you don't have to answer that.
I'll make you a deal. When something worth sharing pops into that head of yours, I'll tell you.
I agree with a nod of my head and a tight smile of my own, falling into step beside him once again.
So what do you think of our humble abode? Ignoring the fact, of course, that there's a great frickin' hole in the cargo hold.
I can't help but smile at the way Bash seems to flip something as serious as a hole in the spaceship to something of mere inconvenience. I haven't seen much of it yet.
No one's given you a tour? The outrage! You'd think they were a band of bloody savages if you didn't know any better. Have you met the captain yet?
No. Bash gives a scoff of a laugh, then shakes his head in amusement.
I can't say you're missing out. That man's got a vendetta on a scale I've never seen before. Just stay clear of his warpath and you'll be okay, kid. But let's see, anyone else you'd like to know more about?
There was mention of a pilot.
Ah, yes. Now there's a pocket rocket if I ever did see one. Too bad she wasn't a fan of the water tank plans that drew up. Perhaps you'd be more obliging? But I wouldn't give to see a full-blown space mermaid in all their watery glory.
His mind drifts elsewhere for a moment, and when I clear my throat, he shrugs his shoulders and shakes his head.
She'd rather live like a lowly old human. Can't see the sense in that, personally.
Riona comes to mind. He gives me a look, one I can't quite decipher.
Doc is... Well, there's plenty I could say about her, but I'll leave that for another time.
His face changes at that, becomes softer somehow. June seems nice.
The cowboy brought you on board. Has he shown you his guns yet? It won't be long until he's whipping them out. Both sets of them. Just watch out for that pet of his. Sharp teeth and confined spaces are not a good mix, let me tell you now. Don't ask me how I know that.
His pet?
You'll know it when you see it. Trust me. You've obviously met me, the most handsome and talented engineer on this side of Callius X. I would say that's all you need to know, but I'm sure there was someone else. Why do I feel like I'm forgetting someone?